Help me reach 7,000 subscribers. Please like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Your feedback helps make the content better. She dropped the call as I opened the front door. The screen was still lit on the counter, number hidden under unknown, and she moved fast, too fast, to wrap me in a hug. "Hey, you're home," Natalie sang, bright enough to hurt. The smile didn't reach her eyes. It sat there like a sticker. "Yeah," I said, kicking off my boots by the mat. "Phone okay?" She turned the phone face down. "Spam. I've been getting those all week." "Lucky me," I muttered, and set my bag by the dining chair we never used. Her arms stayed around my neck a second too long, like she was posing for a picture. I kissed her forehead out of habit, then grabbed a glass of water to wash down the aftertaste of cheap office coffee. If I'd known where it was headed, I'd have taken a longer minute with that glass. A last normal sip. Natalie was the best wife on paper. Smooth dinners, nice towels folded the same way every Sunday, joint calendar so detailed it could run air traffic. She made lists for lists. I used to admire it. Lately, the lists didn't have my name on them. It started in small corners. She lost track of time at a Pilates studio that didn't post its hours online. She took her car for detailing twice in a week because of pollen. She stopped leaning into me on the couch, changed from pajamas to leggings for comfort, slept with a pillow barrier like a hotel privacy card. I'm not a teenager. I didn't push. I figured work had me distracted. She'd found a new routine. We'd calibrate. Except calibrate turned into drift. My calls during the day went to voicemail. Her replies were sticky sweet, one sentence, neutral. At dinner, she'd ask about my meetings with the interest level of a weather app, then steer to her friends. "Mandy's hosting a women's night. Jess wants to check out this new wine bar. Grace is going through a phase with her husband. I need to support her." She'd leave in a cloud of perfume I didn't recognize and come home late, step lightly past the bedroom, shower with the door locked. I didn't make a speech. I watched. The first pushback came a Friday. She grabbed her keys as I set down a rotisserie chicken I bought because it used to be our thing. Low effort, good skin, Netflix and jokes. "Rain check," she called. "Mandy needs me. She's having a moment." "She's had 3 moments this week," I said. Natalie shrugged into a jacket. "Women's stuff. You wouldn't get it." "I might," I said, "if it exists." She rolled her eyes at the oven like it had said something dumb. "Don't be cynical. It's not attractive." "I'll try being observant," I told her. "That work for you?" She kissed the air over my cheek and left. Her phone chimed on the counter and lit with "See you soon" from a number saved as a flower emoji. Cute. When I reached to flip the phone face down, I caught the preview of the last text. It had a guy's name once, then the name was edited to the flower. Easy slip in the notifications log. I filed it. Didn't storm. Didn't accuse. I ate chicken alone and cleaned the counter to a shine she'd approve of. The first scene I opened was for me. Saturday morning, while she was at yoga, I cut the shared calendar into separate blocks. No more standing weekly date that she could cancel last minute. I sent her a note. "Next week's I'm prioritizing late shifts and gym. Let's set dinners case by case." She texted back heart emojis. "Totally fine. I want you to focus on you." I stopped paying for her car wash subscription and split the card we used for groceries. I told her in the kitchen, straight, no performance. New rule. Shared essentials on the joint. Your friends' nights and boutique runs are on your personal card. Mine too. She leaned on the island and studied me like a riddle. "Are you upset about something?" "I'm organized," I said. "You like organized." "So this is about money now?" "It's about clarity. You're busy. I'm busy. Let's not subsidize each other's hobbies. I'm your wife, Jack. And I'm your husband," I said. "We'll invest in the part that's shared." She hated the tone, calm, decisive. She chewed her lip but nodded, performative. "Okay, if that makes you feel better." It makes me feel honest. That night she did the first soft turn. She came home early with a bag of burgers from that spot by the river, the one with the string lights and sloppy buns that stain your hands. "Truce?" she asked, settling on my lap, burger bag rustling on my knee. "You're right. I've been scattered." "You working a truce with me or with my debit card?" I asked. She swatted my shoulder with the paper bag. "With you. Eat. Then we can watch that crime show you like." It was the most contact I'd had in a month. She tucked her feet next to me, no pillow barrier that night. I didn't overanalyze, just noted the timing. After my boundary, not before. Sunday morning, she was back out by 9 with a brunch with Mandy and Jess. She kissed my forehead in the same angle as the first day and left. I wiped burger grease off the table and called Adam. Adam runs the shop at my company. Your classic plant manager, buzz cut, laughs like a lawnmower, sees everything. We grab coffee twice a week and talk about baseball and why people forget their key cards. Walk me through this. He set over 2 paper cups outside the warehouse, forklifts in the background like migrating whales. She's nice when I pull away, I said. She's busy when I'm present. She's got a flower emoji where a name used to be. She hugs like a PR move. I'm not furious. I'm assessing. Hire someone, Adam said. Not a friend. Not a cousin. Quiet. Boring. Invoices paid on time. Get facts. If you're wrong in peace. You don't think I should talk to her first? You will, he said. You'll talk better if you already know. I didn't need more than that. Monday, I found a guy through a colleague's attorney, a retired cop who did quiet work. His name was Lee. He wore shirts like a substitute teacher, drove a beige sedan, looked at me like I was a grocery list. What do you need, Jack? He asked. Dates, times, patterns, I said. Photos if they present themselves naturally. I'm not looking for fireworks. I want a calendar. People usually want fireworks. I'm not people, I told him. And I don't want your opinion. I want your log. He nodded, unimpressed, which I liked. Keep living like normal. No theatrics. I'll be in touch. For 2 weeks, I adjusted my life by inches. I stopped chasing her with small talk. If she canceled dinner, I moved on. If she floated a, we should do a couples thing with Grace and her husband, I put it on a maybe later, text me specifics, shelf, and never took it down. I grabbed extra shifts. I went back to the gym where they play old rock through a dented speaker. I cooked steak for me and left a plate if she was home by 10. Sometimes it was untouched in the morning. She added pressure with jokes. It started Monday night after she got an expensive-looking haircut because summer. Who are you trying to impress? I asked, running a hand over the blunt ends. Myself, she said. Though if someone at work notices, I won't cry about it. Good for your morale, I said. We should all have morale. You're weird lately, she said lightly. You used to be fun. I used to be mirrored, I said. I'll survive. On Wednesday, at our neighbor's backyard cookout, she escalated. Public setting. Witnesses. She set us up next to Grace and her husband, Devin, who manages a building downtown. The kind of guy who thinks his key ring is personality. Paper plates, kids with chalk, beers sweating on the table. Natalie pulled me into the conversation like I was an exhibit. Tell Devin how you reorganized the budget, she said, smirking. Jack's in his spreadsheet era. Devin chuckled. Careful, man. You're gonna ruin her summer. I took a sip of water and looked at Natalie. You need me to give a TED talk on our recurring expenses? Or did you just want the grin from Devin? She blinked, taken aback by the direct line. Relax. We're joking. I don't joke about money, I said. Or respect. Let's keep our business in our house. Grace, polite diplomat she is, tried to redirect. Hey, Natalie, did you ever text Mandy about the lake trip? Yeah, Natalie said, without looking at Grace. We're planning a girls-only weekend. You should come. I looked at my watch and then at Devin. I'm going to grab another water, I told them. When we were alone by the cooler, Natalie followed. Don't do that, she hissed low. Do what? Make me look controlling. You don't need help with that, I replied, popping the lid. New rule. We don't bring each other up for target practice in group settings. If you start, I finish. That's a threat, she asked. That's a boundary, I said. If you cross it again, I leave the event. On the spot. Jack, try me, I said, soft, because soft lands better. Grace caught the last second of it as she came for a napkin, eyes flicking between us, measuring something. I didn't gloat. I let the rules sit there and soak into the grass. That was my public line, the one you set once so you don't have to raise your voice later. 2 nights later, she delivered her mid-turn. She canceled girls' night, cooked salmon, lit candles, played that playlist she knows I like from before bed. She wore a sweater I used to steal from her dryer and climbed into my lap again like the burger night. I miss you, she said. I'm sorry I've been scattered. Work's been heavy and Mandy's drama is endless. I've been hiding in noise. I see it. I don't want distance. I want specifics, I said. What changes? I'll cut back on the late nights, she offered. We'll do Thursdays. Just us. No phones. No friends. Dinner. Then reading on the couch like we used to. Deal. Deal, I said, and meant it with a reservation. I wanted the old rhythm. I wasn't naive about why it was offered, because I had cut access and she felt it. But I took the hand extended. That was Thursday. For 1 week, it looked like progress. She hit our Thursday. She put her phone in a drawer and made a point of saying it out loud. She touched me in the kitchen while the pasta boiled. She sent me a photo of her lunch with a "thinking about you" text plus a heart. I replied with a thumbs up and added, "Thanks for the salmon." The second week, her Thursdays got shifted, then next week for sure. Her tone softened when she needed to adjust, went brittle when I asked simple questions. Her phone, which had been in the drawer during dinner, migrated back to the table with the screen face down. "Leave it," I said one night. 2 hours without it won't kill you. "I'm waiting on a message from Jess," she said. "She's moving jobs." "Then she'll still be moving in 2 hours," I said. "You can celebrate after." She sighed with the patience of a saint, then made a show of sliding the phone into the drawer. 10 minutes later, she got up to switch the laundry and took it to the hallway. When she came back, the sweater was off one shoulder like a magazine spread, and she sat close but not connecting, making a show of proximity without warmth. I didn't call it out. I logged it. She was playing both sides. Enough ritual so she could say we were fine, enough distance to keep a door open. Lee texted me the following Monday at 5:12 p.m. "Need a sit down. Tomorrow. Coffee place on Park. 8 a.m. I slept like a man checking the clock every hour. Lee slid an envelope across the table. Largest thing about him was the clarity. "You said you wanted a calendar. You got a calendar." I pulled out photos, time-stamped. Same car in the same lot on Tuesdays and Fridays by a complex across town. A man, gray hoodie, baseball cap, leaving the building with her 20 minutes after she arrived. Another set by a lake road I knew she liked. Her going into a townhouse at 8:03 p.m. and leaving at 11:22 p.m. One more. The one that pulled a thread I didn't know was there. Her at a diner with a man whose face I recognized from a picture frame she used to keep in a closet, her ex-husband, Mike. They sat on the same side of the booth, her hand on his forearm. She used to say he was part of a past life, a lesson. He looked very present. Lee didn't narrate. He poured sugar into a coffee he didn't drink. "You asked me not to say what to do," he said. "So I won't." "How sure?" I asked, tapping the printed timestamps. Sure enough that if you presented this to a rational person, they'd stop asking follow-ups. I slid the envelope back and put cash on the table. "You did your job. I'll do mine." "I'll email the digital log," he said. "And Jack, yeah, you handled this like an adult. No fireworks." "I'm not in the fireworks business," I told him. "I'm in the consequences business." I drove to work, finished 2 meetings, replied to emails, scheduled deliveries. Then I went home early. I set her suitcases by the front door, the sturdy ones she bought for girls' trips. I pulled her essentials from the bathroom into a tote. I packed the clothes I knew she wore to brunch in the outer pocket so she wouldn't need to dig. I put her mail in a folder with a sticky note. "For you." I printed out 3 photos and 1 page of Lee's log with dates and times. I set them on the dining table, laid out, not dramatic. I put my key on a ring I'd leave for a new place, not for her. I sat on the couch and waited. By midnight, I'd read the same paragraph of a manual 4 times. At 1 a.m., the ice maker dropped cubes like a drumline. I texted her at 2 on the dot because I didn't want to pretend I wasn't waiting. "Where are you? We need to talk." She replied a minute later. "I'm sorry, lost track of time. I'll be home soon." "Is Mike that good?" I texted back. The typing dots appeared, then went away. Nothing. 30 minutes later, I heard tires and a car door. She came in fast, eyes widening at the suitcases like she'd seen a burglar. "What is this?" Natalie said, breathless. "Why are my bags here? What does this mean?" "It means you're leaving," I said. "And I'm done. You can't just." "I can," I said. "You had a calendar. I have one too." She laughed, quick and brittle. "You're being paranoid." "Mike is." "Don't call him by the name you used to hide under a flower emoji," I said. "You're smarter than that, Natalie. Don't play me like I'm new." "You're imagining," she insisted. "You're jealous and now you're doing whatever this is. If you'd given me more time, we'd be fine. I needed attention you weren't giving me. and I was going to come back to us, but then you started watching me like a cop. I tilted my head toward the table. Looked down. She followed my eyes. Saw the photos. Saw the log. Froze mid-sentence. The piece of her that loved winning ran the math and found no path. Her face went empty in the way a person goes neutral before choosing a tactic. You invaded my privacy, she said. You stalked me. You controlled the money. You made rules. You humiliated me at Grace's house. You've been cold. What did you expect? You pushed me away. I expected partnership, I said. And when I didn't get it, I put in boundaries. You're defending the fact that you kept me in a support role while auditioning a past chapter. That's your choice. Mine is to end it. So it's like that, she snapped. Throw it all away because you're stubborn. No, I said. End it because I respect myself. You can keep your reasons. You don't get to keep both me and your side schedule. She looked at the suitcases again and then to me. What do you want me to do? Beg. Is that what satisfies you? I want you to pack, I said. Your ride's probably still warm. She tried one more angle. Think about everything I've done here. The house. The routines. The dinners. I made our life work. You made our life look good, I said. That's different. She glared like she could set the carpet on fire. You're going to regret this. People will take my side. This isn't a ballot, I said. It's my life. She waited for me to flinch. I didn't. I walked to the door and opened it. Don't drag it. I have an appointment today. With who? Someone who files paperwork, I said. You don't need the details. You're so decided, I said. That's the word. She zipped the suitcase hard enough to wake neighbors. She grabbed her tote. She looked at the photos again, then back at me, and something in her posture collapsed. Not enough to be a scene, just a tiny fold where certainty lives. She yanked on the handle and dragged 2 bags across the threshold. She didn't slam the door. She closed it soft. That was the last time I saw her in our house. She texted the next day. A paragraph of rationalizations and nostalgia, then a smaller one with blame. I didn't reply. She texted 3 days later with a short version. We can fix this. I didn't reply. A week after. Please call. No reply. She tried the friends route, too. Grace called and left a voicemail with careful vowel sounds about communication. I texted Grace back 2 sentences. I appreciate your kindness. It's done. Grace didn't call again. I changed my routine the next morning because that's how you move on. Paperwork and new habits. I carved my life into clear parts. I got a new lease 2 blocks from the shop, an apartment with brick that didn't try too hard, and a view of a parking lot where people don't pretend. I bought a used truck because I wanted something sturdy I didn't have to baby. I moved my clothes in one afternoon with Adam's help. He didn't say anything significant. He carried boxes and put takeout on the counter. How's your head? He asked eventually, wiping his hands on a paper towel. Quiet, I said. I like quiet. Good, he said. No fireworks. No fireworks, I agreed. Natalie's last text came 2 weeks after she left. I went too far. I was lonely. I thought I could heal and then come back. I made a mess. I'm sorry. I stared at it a minute. Then I set the phone face down the way she used to. I washed my plate. I took out the trash. People think ending is the hard part. Hard part is the hour before you decide. After the decision, it's chess. You move a piece, you don't look back. I adjusted my payments, redirected the utilities, pulled my name off what needed it, left her with what she loved, comfort without me in it. I didn't blast her name. I didn't call her mother. I didn't hand out photos at block parties. I didn't need an audience. I needed a new morning. 3 months later, new morning had a rhythm. I woke at 6 without the old ache of expectation. I stretched in a room with no pillow barrier and no phantom list. I ate eggs standing at the counter and watched news on a small screen that didn't judge my choices. I drove to the shop, said hi to the guys, made schedules, signed forms. I learned to cook a decent stir fry. I went to the gym and left my phone in the locker for an hour without phantom buzzing. When I needed to talk, I called Adam and we talked about baseball again. Real baseball, not metaphors. On Saturdays, I took my truck to the lake road. It smelled like cut grass and gasoline. I liked the smell. I didn't make a statement about women or love or anything with a capital letter. I made a statement about me. My rule stands. If someone treats my time like a backup plan, I edit the plan. If someone treats my presence like furniture, I move the furniture. She reached once more through a mutual friend, Mandy, the queen of moments. I ran into her at the grocery store, produce aisle, cantaloupes lit like stage props. She saw my cart and built a conversation on top of it. "Jack," she said. "Wow, you look good." "Healthy," I said. "It's the spinach." Mandy lowered her voice. "Natalie's not. She's not doing great." "I'm sorry to hear that," I said. I picked a bell pepper up and put it down. "She's resourceful. She thought you'd soften." "She thought wrong," I said. "Tell her I wish her well." "That's it?" Mandy asked, a little offended for sport. "That's it." I pushed the cart away. Behind me, I heard her inhale like she had a speech ready. She let it go. The store radio played a song we used to listen to on Sundays. I paid for spinach and peppers and left. If there's a moral, I don't own it. I just know what I'm willing to live with. I can live with being the guy who made a decision instead of the guy who begged for exceptions to his own rules. I can live with the sound of my door closing at night and nobody on the other side calculating whether to show up. I can live with the fact that I didn't need to shout to end it. I set a boundary. I enforced it once. It held. 6 months out, I took a weekend trip to a place with a town square and a diner that doesn't pretend to be anything but a diner. I sat at the counter, ordered eggs, watched 2 men fix a wobbly stool with duct tape and laughter. A woman sat 3 seats down and asked if the coffee was any good. Her name was Elise. She teaches high school math, which means she manages chaos without drama. We talked numbers, then books, then places to get decent barbecue. It wasn't fireworks. It was calm. We swapped numbers like adults. No emojis. She texted the next day. "Thanks for the company." I replied, "My pleasure." Thursday, we grabbed dinner. She put her phone in her purse before I asked. When it buzzed, she let it. I noticed. I didn't make it into a sermon. I liked the signal. Work picked up. I got promoted to operations lead without putting on a suit. Adam slapped my shoulder and said, "Try not to break the forklifts." I said, "No promises." We laugh the way men laugh when they're tired and things are fine. Sometimes, late, I think about the beginning. The hug that landed wrong, the burger truce, the flower emoji. I don't do it to punish myself. I do it to remember that signals don't lie. Only people do. You don't yell at a signal. You adjust your speed. Natalie. I hear snippets. She tried to move to the complex near the lake. They denied her because of some credit issue. She took a temporary place with a friend. She posts pictures with captions about finding myself and learning. Maybe she is. Good for her. In those photos, she has the smile again, the one that sits on the face like a sticker. It's not my job to peel it off. I don't know her explanations. I gave her the last words that mattered the night I opened the door and pointed at the suitcases. "This is over," I said. "I expect you to honor the exit." "I'll make you regret this," she replied. I smiled because the line was tired. Then we're both free to find out. The door clicked. The house inhaled. I set my alarm for the appointment I had the next morning and slept clean. Elise and I take the truck out on Sundays now, down the same lake road. We talk about dumb things that turn quietly into real things. She points out houses she likes, the boxy ones with open porches where neighbors wave and mean it. I don't rush it. I don't calibrate for someone else's mood. I just show up and watch the road. When we get coffee, I pay with one card. Not because I control anything. Because it's simple. Respect is simple when you stop negotiating it. You set it. You live it. You don't discount it because you're bored or lonely. If a person can't meet it, they drift. You don't chase. You change your route. The final thing I'll say is this. People think dignity is loud. It isn't. Dignity is you lifting your own bags, opening your own door, and telling the truth once with your back straight. It's packing suitcases without yelling. It's not answering texts that only exist to lure you back into an old script. I chose me. Turns out I like the guy I picked. He wakes up early, shows up on time, laughs at dumb jokes with his friends, makes decent stir-fry, buys spinach, drives a truck that starts, and doesn't need a flower emoji to feel alive. He knows that if he ever gets a hug that feels like a performance again, he won't pretend it's fine. He'll pour a glass of water, taste the flat coffee in his mouth,